These combos prioritize being unpunishable, but also have a balance of damage and being unescapable as well. They are best suited for when the opponent has ragdoll cancel. I recommend these combos to more advanced players. This is not a bad combo at all. It is just staggeringly difficult to perform. This combo is not hard at all, you just need to master the dash tech. Deals an astonishing amount of damage even if they ragdoll out of uppercut. I already have a video on Hero Hunter's techs which I will put in the description. It is currently one of the best combos in the game. My favorite combo overall, I highly recommend mastering it. There isn't many good extenders with Genos. This is the best Genos combo I can come up with. This is a pretty good combo, just easily escapable if they ragdoll cancel. This combo is almost impossible to be punished. Just like Sonic's combo, Metal Bat's combo is hard to punish as well. However, this combo is even more easily escapable with ragdoll cancel and harder to execute because of the instant uppercut dash. This is pretty much the unescapable Atomic Samurai combo but with M1 extenders. I would be very impressed if you are able to do this combo perfectly. It's a pretty good combo, but it is probably the hardest one you'll see in this video. In my opinion, Suiryu is by far the worst character in the game, especially if the enemy still has ragdoll cancel. The combo is not bad though. This is undoubtedly the best combo in the game, it is completely unescapable. If you execute this overpowered combo flawlessly, then you can probably win any fight. Here are my rankings for all of the combos. I have categorized each character according to their 4th M1, because they all have different ways to M1 extend. Child Emperor and Hero Hunter have very similar M1s. As you can see, both of their 4th M1 sends the opponent upwards. True Twisted allows you to hit your opponent instantly after they are in the air. To do this tech, position yourself close to the opponent, then hold your M1. After the 4th M1, flick about 90 degrees to the side and flick back. If you have very low ping like me, then you can even flick slightly backwards. For Child Emperor, your flick needs to be slightly faster because your opponent will be in the air for less time. You can also do it like Humbled, where you walk backwards and dash in a semicircle shape, but I find it a bit more difficult and complex. And I guess you can also dash in a loop if you want to be flashy. Make sure you hold your M1 to fully use the stun from your 3rd M1, this is what makes this tech true. This is a very consistent tech and is the best M1 extender in the game right now, but it is only possible for Hero Hunter and Child Emperor, and it is hard to do on high ping. These characters have nearly identical M1s. There are multiple ways to do this tech, but I will teach you the most consistent and realistic one I found. To do this tech, position yourself diagonal to your opponent and hold M1. After your 4th M1, dash about 90 degrees to the right. Then aim to hit your opponent when you are right above them or right in front of them. Proving this tech also works for Tatsumaki, KJ and Suiryu, and it is not luck-based. It is slightly harder with Suiryu because the camera will shake with each M1. This tech can even be completely true if you can hit it perfectly. Watch how the dummy's health stays red, this means that the dummy is completely stunned. Also, this tech is not ping dependent as it works on the dummy who is on 0 ping. However, it is very hard to do this perfectly and it requires lots of practice. I have a giveaway at the end of the video where you can get a free private server plus so you can master this tech or any others. If this tech is too hard for you, I will now show you a much easier alternative. Basically, just position yourself as far back as you can go looking towards your opponent's shoulder. After your 4th M1, slightly delay your dash or walk back. This makes this tech not true because there will be a small gap where your opponent can ragdoll cancel, even if you hit the dash perfectly. Overall, I don't recommend this tech mainly because it is unrealistic. In a real fight, this tech can easily be countered. This won't really matter as long as you are diagonal to the opponent, which is why this method is far superior. I would say that this tech is almost as good as True Twisted, but it is much harder to land it perfectly. Which is why I only recommend you do this OP tech if you are an advanced player. Never do this if you are a beginner or intermediate player. Atomic Samurai in Genos sends the opponent much further and faster than Saitama. This is probably the simplest extender in the video. It is pretty easy to execute this tech. To do this tech, position yourself relatively close to your opponent, then slightly delay your dash after 4th M1. Use your body to stop the opponent so you can combo extend. Yes, this also works with Atomic Samurai, but I find it to be a bit harder for some reason. However, this tech is escapable if they use Ragdoll Cancel. As you can see, the dummy's health turns white for a split second, which means that he isn't stunned. This tech is very simple and easy, but it is escapable. Overall, it is a great extender for Genos and Atomic Samurai, as it works for any ping. However, I find it to be a little inconsistent and it is a bit harder on Atomic Samurai for me. Sonic has a unique 4th M1, he sends the opponent much faster than Saitama. This makes it pretty much impossible to do Saitama's true extender. Sonic's M1 has the same speed as Genos and Atomic Samurai, but not far enough to extend like them. This is why to extend with Sonic you must walk back a bit before you dash, then extend like Genos. It is basically the normal twisted tech but much more precise. Much like Genos' extender and twisted tech, Sonic's extender is also escapable. For Sonic, you could also do instant uppercut dash instead, which has the same effect. His extender is good, but it is escapable and also kind of hard. I will not be providing a tutorial to these techs, but I will put a keyboard in the bottom left instead. They are all performed on the dummy to prove that they are not ping dependent. To do this tech, do 3 M1s, then wait a bit and use Swift Sweep. When the first part of Swift Sweep hits, turn around so the opponent does not get knocked back. Wait a bit for your M1s to reset, then extend. This is a great extender because it is unescapable and very easy. However, I have not put this in S tier because it does less damage. To do this tech, go backwards as you down slam and use Collateral Ruin right after. After the move ends, walk forwards a bit, then dash as soon as possible. There is a keyboard at the bottom left to help you with your timing. This tech is not ping dependent, but it will be harder on lower ping players. this tech does a lot of damage. However, it can sometimes be inconsistent and it can be punished. This tech is completely unescapable, and unlike the Lord Heaven tech, this is very consistent on low ping players and even on the dummy. All you need to do is walk forwards before you dash. This is very simple but yet overpowered tech, and I'm not sure why this is not being used much. Just to prove it works on a blocking dummy. If you dash too early on a higher ping player, then this might happen, or your hitbox will give them less knockback from shove and you will miss your dash. A simple fix to this is to delay your dash, but not too much so that it becomes blockable. Just to prove that this is true even if they hold block. You can also just do the normal Lord Heaven tech if they are high ping enough. Or abuse your hitbox to reduce the knockback to have a true shove tech with a side dash. This is a very underrated tech. It is unescapable and works for any ping. However, it will be slightly harder to do on higher ping players. After you dash here, do slow M1s before uppercut so your dash cooldown resets before you do unpunishable uppercut. I have already made a tutorial for Hero Hunter's combo and techs which I will put a link to in the comments. Here's a small tip that I did not mention in that video though. Do slightly slower M1s after true twisted so your dash will reset just in time for instant lethal dash. I'm pretty sure this is a new tech, but I'm not certain. To do this tech, you must know this secret trick that allows you to stay in the air for longer. All you need to do is position yourself next to the opponent when you jump. To be completely honest, I don't know how or why this works, it just does. There is a keyboard at the bottom left to help you with your timing if you need it. As you can see, it somehow does not work if I am far away from the opponent. I still have no idea why I don't jump as high. Unfortunately, this tech is not true, but it is still a great extender nonetheless. This tech is not easy, but definitely not that hard either. It took me about 15 minutes to discover and master it. At the end of your combo, you can dash after you use Blitz Shot to make it a full combo. Make sure you use Blitz Shot when they are ragdolled. However, this tech is not true, it is blockable, counterable and escapable. You can try to dash around their block to extend though. You can watch Every's video for the tutorial as well if you didn't already. Timing is very important in this tech. Try to jump and use Flash Strike just before they are able to block to make this tech unescapable. It is not very hard to master it. This is easily the best Sonic tech. This tech is unblockable and also not ping dependent. Like I said, this is the best Sonic tech and it's not even close. Sonic is a very underrated character, he just has a bad reputation because most people just spam with him and be passive. This is the only Sonic tech I think that is worth mentioning. I don't think you will need a tutorial for these characters, just because the techs in those combo are very simple and straightforward. To do this tech, do 3 M1s and use Windstorm Fury, then go backwards. After their third roll, jump and use Expulsive Push, look directly upwards then forwards. Aim to hit the opponent when they are slightly in front of you, and dash. You can use the keyboard at the bottom left to help you with your timing. Alternatively, you can do this version of the tech, but it will be much easier to be punished for it if they have ragdoll cancel. This tech is extremely difficult because there are lots of small factors that can make you miss. It took me an hour to discover it. This tech is not worth going for in a real fight if you can't do it consistently. This is a pretty good extender because it is basically impossible to be punished for it. However, this is escapable. At first glance, you would think that this tech is impossible. Your opponent will move in a seemingly random direction each time, so it will be like a guessing game. And you would be right, they will move in a random direction, but I found a way to predict where they will go every time. When your opponent lands on the floor, they will initially face a random direction. This is the direction they will ragdoll towards. To show you that this is not luck-based, I did it 5 times in a row here. It might take some practice for you to master it though. Sometimes, it may be unclear of the exact direction your opponent will go, just try to do an estimate of the general direction, then react to where they go and dash. This extender is escapable but unpunishable. It is not very hard and also not ping dependent. There are 2 ways to do this tech. Here is mashing, where you spam and hope for the best. Most of the time, I don't use or recommend macros, but I find this tech to be inconsistent with mashing. You don't need macros for this tech, but it will definitely be easier. To do this tech, after double trouble, turn around and use web boom as soon as possible, then tap plasma cannon as soon as possible. Instantly dash or side dash to catch the opponent. Make sure your opponent is stunned when web boom hits them so they don't get ragdolled. If you do not turn around, web boom might hit too fast. Unfortunately, this tech won't really work in public servers because web boom will lock on the closest entity, which would be the dummy. Even if you are nowhere near the dummy, it would still lock on him and then to your opponent. Alternatively, you can just skip using web boom. Web boom does 16.5% damage, but this tech only does about 10% less damage because you charge your plasma cannon for longer. This tech is completely unescapable whilst doing massive damage. However, it may not work on very high ping players and public servers. It is easier for low ping players to do this, and it allows for a 100% true combo. Although this tech may not work in public servers, this is overpowered in duels or private server 1v1s. Thanks for watching my videos. These combos are very hard. Private Server Plus really helped me to master these techs and combos. This is why I'm doing a giveaway in my other video. If you already have Private Server Plus or want something else, you can comment something different, but your budget is 585 Robux because that's how many I have. Comment your guess and username. There is a hint in the pinned comment of that video, and I left a clue somewhere in this video. Good luck.